Tashi Delay, and welcome to session number 6 in Natural Liberation Part 5 today. And we're continuing looking at dream yoga. And today we look at the dream emanation and transformation practices. So we've apprehended the dream, and then we go on with the dream emanation and transformation practices. And then we'll also look at some other obstacles and how we deal with obstacles that may occur in the process of dream yoga. And so we begin here with talking about the dream emanation and transformation. So Padmasambhava begins on page 155 here of Natural Liberation. While apprehending the dream state, consider, since this is now a dream body, it can be transformed in any way. Whatever arises in the dream may be demonic apparitions, monkeys, people, dogs, and so on. Meditatively transform them into your chosen deity. Practice multiplying them by emanation and changing them into anything you like. That is the 5th session. So what we're doing here is beginning this process of seeing the dream and recognizing things, and when we know that it's illusory in the dream state, we can play with it, if you will. We can transform that. So we can do this during the daytime as a practice. Imagine a dream, bring up a dream, remember a dream that you've had, or you can just emanate a dream, and then you begin to play with it. You begin to manipulate it. A friend shows up, you turn them into a Buddha. Now remember, with pure view, every being is a Buddha already, so you're just imagining him in a slightly different form that is a form of an actual deity as a part of this. Or other things that appear. We can change them other objects. You can change a dog into a cat, or a cat into a dog. You can manipulate them and change them in a variety of ways as we play about with them. If we do this in the daytime, what we're doing is creating new neural pathways in our mind that then facilitate doing this during the dream phase. And after we recognize the dream, then it makes it easier to actually manipulate the dream, the transformation process of the dream, during the dream yoga. So he continues on then with, while apprehending the dream state by bringing forth a powerful yearning to go to Abhirati in the east, or Oregon in the west, you can go there and request Dharma. These are Buddha fields in the east and the west. And so we can go there and request teachings. It's like Amitabha in Dewa Chen. You can go there and request the teachings. And this is how some of the famous yogis who have received termits, these kirtans, have brought these back and transcribed them into texts that then have become used in the practice of Tibetan Buddhism. So you can do something similar. You can go and receive teachings directly during the dream state. He continues by saying, to subdue demonic apparitions and so forth, practice emanating yourself as a Garuda. It's kind of a bird-like figure that is said to be born in a full-grown form right from the very beginning. Or a Hayagriva or the like, a deity, Hayagriva. And transform them in any way you wish. So you transform yourself into a deity and transform these other things into anything that you want to. In addition, practice condensing many things into one and multiplying one thing into many. This is the 6th session. So in this case, we see one figure. We can multiply it into many different figures. Or we can transform the many figures back into one. Or it can even be an object that appears in a dream. So a particular object shows up in the dream, we transform that object into many of the same thing, or transform them into one of all of those things, and so forth. In the next one, so there's a variety of things that we can do here. So this is the dream emanation and transformation process. So if we look at the handout then on this, we began by setting our intention during the daytime, and then also before we go to sleep. Intention is very helpful but based on research. We know that setting that intention is real helpful in actually being able to go into and recognize the dream state. And so set your intention to apprehend the dream state and transform things. And then at nighttime, We transform appearances into a deity, or we multiply them, or we change them into anything we like. We can increase the number of objects, multiply it into 2, 4, hundreds, thousands, whatever. Then we bring forth a powerful yearning to go to a Buddha field and request teachings and then go. We can fly or just instantly appear in that Buddha field. Whatever works for us, we can do that. If demonic apparitions appear, a bad dream basically, then we can transform ourselves into this Garuda bird or Hayagriva or something else, and transform the apparitions into whatever we want. Any bad thing that appears, we just transform, we change them. It's just an illusion. So you can change bad dreams into good dreams. Sometimes when I am dreaming, if I start to have a bad dream, I just rewind the tape and go back to an earlier point in the dream and change the outcome, change the way, influence it in a way that I get a better outcome in the dream. So you can do that. Condense many things into one. Change large into small, or small into large, a little bit like what they did with some of the apparitions in the Harry Potter movie. When you recognize that you are in a dream state, meditate on yourself as Haruka and consort, and then radiate blue light from the Hong at your heart, the seed syllable of Haruka, and then dissolve the world into the deities of the mandala, then the mandala into Haruka and consort, consort into Haruka, Haruka into Hong, Hong into emptiness, and maintain the view of emptiness. This is the same practice that we did in the generation stage, the dissolution of the visualization, the whole mandala, from the outside in. It's exactly the same thing, only we do it during the dream state. Okay? So the generation stage practices that we did previously actually become a practice for dream yoga that we are doing now, as well as for preparation for the Bardo state a little bit later on. So those are the main practices here. And he says that it's important to keep the visualization of the deity at our throat to concentrate our mind and energies. So when we're first going to sleep, the processes that we have been doing the previous session, we again almost always look at a visualization at the throat level, and so we just retain those visualizations at the throat, and that then is very important in helping us to recognize and then transform the dream state. So that concludes this first part of this session.